Hello, this is Bonnie, and today I am going to be working on another birthday card, but with some different dies. And the reason I'm making birthday cards is that we have actually two sets of twins in our family, and the youngest twins are 5 years old, are going to be 5 years old. And so I've already made one card, if you watched that video with Walter from Sizzix and Tim Holtz. And now today I'm going to make yet another one with Walter and for my grandson. The other one was for my granddaughter. So let's get started. As you can see below, I've already got some things cut out. I am going to be using this die, this card, and I'm going to be using this sign. And this one is called Road Trip, and it's 666288. Now, I don't think I'm mistaken when I said this. You know, before I've always told you look in the back when they're colorized, and this is a colorized die, and I didn't see the numbers back here in terms of the order in which to put them on. So all I did was I went ahead and cut them out and then figured out how that was going to go. So I really stayed pretty close to the colors that they wanted me to use. I changed out the color from blue to red, but I wanted to get some idea. Anyway, so the first one says cream, and what I used was kind of like the Lost Shadow gray color, and this is actually the background, and so I wanted it to look more like a shadow. And we're going to go ahead and put these together, but you want to remember in order, and what I'm going to do in the order that I'm using them, I'm going to go ahead and put a permanent marker on here so I know which ones are the first layer, the second layer. It will work better that way. And I'm going to go ahead and do that as I'm talking to you so it makes sense. So I'm pretty sure this will work. So this one is the number 1. Yeah, I might have to get a darker color, but I can see that. So that's the number 1. And then this one will be the number 2. And this one says gray on it. And then this one says black, and that's the number 3. And then we have this one here that says blue 1, but I'm going to say, because I'm going to do these in order, 1, 2, 3, this will be 4. And then we have one that's just the bottom part, and again it says blue 2, but again I'm going to call that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure I've got that right. I'm going to write it the right way up. Okay. So we've got those all numbered, and that is the order in which they go together. There's more pieces that go on, little pieces. So let's get started. I've got my glue ready. I've got all my images together. And so obviously we start, move these out a little bit out of the way. Put this in the center. So the Lost Shadow look is our bottom layer. And then we've got a next layer that could be, I mean, you can think of it in any way you want to. Whatever you want is your lightest color, in this case on the bottom. And you will see how things will show through and how you can change it out if you want to. So the next one is a little bit darker gray. And another thing I need to tell you is, it is amazing. Tim often talks about how they can do the specs on his dies. And it's true, this part of the die is very thin. And when you go to take that out, and even use glue, you're going to have to be really careful because you can easily tear these as you're pulling them out because they are embedded a little bit into your die. And if you pull hard, they'll rip. So you need to be a little bit careful when you take them out. Anything thin, not just these dies, anything thin. I really wanted to use my matte behind, but I've been noticing that it gives kind of like a wavy line to my videos, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful about getting the glue on my mat here. So you can see, I'm going to show this to you so you can see how this is going. So there's parts up here that are showing through because it's thicker. So the top of this goes all the way to the top of the back layer. And then you've got that set up. I think it's really a cool car. My grandson loves cars, loves them. He's, like I said, he's going to be 5. So, okay, that was layer 2. Layer 3, and double checking, I always do, is black. And again, you can see how you can change these out as I put these together. So that's going to go on top of here. Again, we've got our thin line at the top. And just be careful when you take them out, like I said. And you don't need a lot of glue on it. So if you really have a fine tip glue, this one's what I used to consider a fine tip, but it is not as fine as I've seen a lot of glue tips can be. And that is really beneficial to that. As you can see, that's a little bit thick. And you can always rub them back. You can do whatever. I know people have all their special techniques. And then there's lots of glues that don't really show up anyway because they dry clear. Alrighty. I think I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Put it up there. Okay. And normally I like to just push these down on here, but I'm going to be careful so I don't get too much glue on my mat. Okay, flip that up. This is kind of cool because the black reminds me of a car when I was a kid. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was Plymouth. And it was a black car and it had like wings back here. And it was something, I remember my dad buying it. It was the coolest car, I always thought. I can't remember the name of the car. It was a Plymouth, that's all I can remember. I was really young. Okay. So that in itself is kind of a cool car. You can make it all black, it'd be cool. Just add the different layers of color. All right, so we've got, that was layer, what did I say, 3. And so now we start to get into color. And this is when you can start thinking about, you know, what color you do want to do. And like I said on the cover, it is blue. And it's cool. And, you know, there's a lot of things. There was one technique I was going to show you, but there was just, you know, a lot to this, so I didn't. And I still could in the end. Is if you want to make it shiny. You know, it's not that easy to find shiny paper anymore. And they used to have a complete paper pad for scrapbooking that was perfect for die cutting cars because it was shiny. So if you want to make your paper shiny, and I might do that like I said in the very end, put that technique and we'll see. But basically what you do is you rub clear embossing ink over whatever paper you want to be shiny. And then you use clear embossing powder. And that will make your paper shiny. Probably, if I was going to do that, I probably should have just done the paper and then die cut it. I did not. But it is something you can do. Alright, so we want to kind of line these up. It does make a difference with the black behind showing. And so again, we're doing that skinny layer yet one more time on top of that. And this is so cute. Look at windshield wipers. Adorable. Look at that. Windshield wipers. And the tires are cool. I love that they're kind of like, they're offset ovals. I love that. And I love the steering wheel. That's cool. It's all cool. So, and then the more layers you add, it makes it a really, how do I want to say it, a substantial die. I think it does. I mean, that even would be cute. Like, you could really seriously do this as an ornament. Because, and then, you know, you could put people's pictures in there. It'd be cool. All right, so, just talking away here. Number 5 is what I'm calling this, is number 5. And that's going to go on. I wanted to make it lighter. So, again, like I said, I think it would be really cool to do it shiny. I'll consider it. Not that it's necessary, seeing as it's just really going to my grandson. He's not going to really care. Because he's 5, gonna be 5. He'll just like that it's a car. Alrighty. Now, remember I've always told you in past videos, if you know, you can see, get that little bit of glue. If you can see the score lines, there's still things to add, and you can see the score lines on that. And obviously we knew this was, but there's score lines even on this. So I gotta really kind of try to match those up as best I can. And I think I got it. I think that piece goes up, maybe. Nope, looks like it works. Okay. So you would think you are done, and you could be, but there's yet, Tim did one more layer, and that next layer is highlights. And that's going to be a little bit harder, and I'm going to show you on here what I'm talking about. Do you see all the light blue on your packaging? Those are quite small in there. They're thin, like I told you. You have to be really careful when you take those out. There's even some really thin 3 right here, and then your headlights, and then you see those right there. So, in order to do that, I'm going to make sure, I haven't obviously put this together before. I'm going to make sure, okay, I see. There's actually, you see 2 here on this, but it's only 1 that gets added, because you've already got the 1 on here and the 1 on here. So you're just adding that to the top layer. So I decided, instead of looking like, the lighter color to me would have been pink, and I just really didn't want pink, and I'm sure there's a red that could have been lighter, but I went with a metallic instead. And that's this layer. And you can see the pieces on there. Those 2 pieces are the little ones that go to the side there, I believe. And then, no, that's not right, because I have another one yet. So this is the handle. We'll figure this out. Anyway, so I know these long pieces. And again, I'm telling you, they are thin. And I'm going to look at my packaging and make sure I get this correct. All right, so the piece that has the longer end or sides to them going up and down is the one that's going to go right here in the middle. And like I said, I know this is fiddly. It's going to take me a little bit longer to do because it is a little bit more fiddly. And sometimes when you do videos, you're like, people don't want to sit there and watch you do fiddly, but it's part of doing it. So I'm going to turn this sideways a little bit for me so I can see it a little bit better, because I want to make sure I get this. Okay, so this is on the inside of the door. Basically lines up with that down below, with the door. It just totally lines up with the door. So you know you're putting it in the right place. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to get it at the top. There is a little bit of an edge, so you can still see the color of the car. But these side pieces really line up with the parts below. Now let me show you a little bit. You can see glue. But see these pieces right here? It lines right up with that piece. Lines up with this piece over here. And there's a little bit of an edge of red at the top, so it doesn't go right up flush to the top. Now, there's 2 more pieces. This piece, I'm going to show you the difference between these 2 pieces and this piece. Okay. See if you can see these. Nope, not very good. Let's get those as best I can on there. Okay, so this one right here has 2 little prongs. This one only has 1. So the one that only has 1 goes in the front of the car, and the one that has 2 goes towards the back of the car. Now, if you look close at this pattern again, you can see there's a little bit of a space between these 2. And then it goes towards the back. Again, we have a little bit, this doesn't go flush to the top. There's a little bit of the car, color of the car showing. Same with the side here. There's hardly any right there. So again, if it's not exactly that way, I don't think it's a really big deal. And these little side pieces could get bent depending on how you take them out. So they could get distorted, is what I should say, not bent. So just be careful when you take them out. And I got a lot of glue right there. All right, I'll move my glue because it does make a shadow. So this one, like I said, goes a little bit to the side. Yep, like that. I'm going to show it to you so you can see how that goes. Still got some glue there. Okay, so now the other piece, because it just has one little prong at the side, it goes in the front. if you think these parts are small, they're not that bad compared to what is coming, which is the headlights and the little highlights to the bumper. All right, so again, this piece is pretty easy because you can really see where that goes. And like I said, there are score lines. Okay, this is really cool. It does, it gives a highlight and it's kind of shiny, so that's kind of fun. All right, in case you're not sure about what highlights to use on your car. Now, there's these two little pieces. I'm not 100% sure. I'm looking at them. I really think it goes inside, but there's already a piece in here. Like I said, let me show you. There's these two little pieces that are right there. I'm not 100% sure that those are really necessary. I'm looking on this packaging to see if it's something that I really want to be on here or not. And I don't think that it's like a big deal to me. Although I don't, okay, I know what the deal is. That's the headlights. Because those other two pieces I was talking about are not the headlights, they're part of the car. The tires. Now I see. That one piece goes here. Okay. That makes sense. That's what the headlight one, this says headlights. So that's what those are. Okay. Well, we're gonna go this route. So those two little pieces, I am not really sure that they're significant for me. If I find a place for them, I will let you know. But we're gonna go with the next one, the next die. And those are the wheels. There's two little pieces that kind of remind me of Star Trek. And they go down below. I'm trying to see how on the package again, they go down here. Because you can see they look more like a smiley face, whereas these other ones are cut out ovals. They're already there. These are not here on the tires. So that makes sense. So we're going to put a little tiny bit of glue down here. Yep. And there. And we're going to use that tool I've used before, the one that picks up stuff. And I'm going to make sure I've got the ones on the right side. I think I do. Yep. Didn't get down there. All right. Get that glue off. All right. Okay. And then we're going to put the one on the other side, although the glue looks like it's almost gone. Okay. Oops. All right, so now we're going to have to sit there and try to figure out where these other pieces go. I know this piece right here. It's got to be one of these headlights. And then I know these other two pieces go there. So I definitely know where I can put some of these pieces, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to use this one. I'm still looking at these. I think these go down here, honestly, on each side. Because that's what we're going to do. No, here, you guys aren't going to be able to see this. Let me get closer. Okay, so those pieces are small, and that's where they're going to go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, try to get that little bit off there, so it goes where I want it to go. And you know what? Some people, these details are really going to be a big deal, because it's part of it. I know my grandson wouldn't care. But we're going for it. That's that side. And then we'll do this side. Because these are straight. So I'm calling these part of this bumper highlight. And then the ones that were curved from the other die, we're going to use that as the front headlight. because I think it fits better. This little piece right there, this little piece right there. We're going to put one of these curved pieces there. And there's a lot of glue. All right. We're going to set that in there. Alrighty, I think we're gonna have, that's what we're gonna have. I don't know what that extra piece is, but you know, that's all right. It could have possibly gone inside of the car handle, but I kind of like it without it. But I mean, if you want to put that in there for the car handle, I guess you could. But we're gonna go this route. I'm happy. I think it looks cute. All right, so that's our car. That's gonna be the main focus of our card. I'm gonna come up a little bit. I knew it was going to take a while because whenever you have little pieces, it does. All right, so then the next thing is we're going to do this sign. So I think I'm going to do something a little bit different than what it shows on the packaging. The packaging, it's horizontal. I am going to go, I think, vertical. So here are our pieces. And technically, like I said, they're going to go like this for real if you're going to do it. These are the pieces that you need. So what I'm going to do is, again, you always start with the back. And then I did mine in the metallic. It's like a mirror to go with a little bit of the shiny that I already did on the car. Just to kind of tie in colors a little bit. Now, what I wanted to do, because I like what I did for the other card I made, if you watched that other video, I added 5 to a lot of the things on my card. So what I decided, let me finish making this post. So for this one, there's 2 pieces. Let me show you. There's the bigger piece and then the smaller piece. This piece goes on top. It's the highlight. I always call them highlights. So I have the dark gray and the light gray, and it's the same colors that I used from the card, the first 2 layers. So you don't have to get out more colors. So all you need to do is put glue in this highlight part. And I didn't even look to see the backs of these. I'll tell you what they say in the back. Make sure I got this on the right side. Okay, so they want you to put that on the left side because there is a score line, but the score line goes pretty much down the middle. So you have to know which side you want that on. And according to the packaging, it goes on the left side. Okay. So let's look at this really quick. Okay, so this says post 1 and then post 2. And that's what this is considered. And then this part right here is called sign 1 and sign 2. So the biggest one is the one in the back. It cuts it out full, and then this cuts out the inset. All right, so like I said, the sign itself goes like this. Like you have your car, and it's coming up to a sign, right? Well, I wanted to use the number 5. And I didn't feel like the number 5, I mean, the 5 fits okay. I mean, it's all right. But I think I kind of liked it better if it was more framed. And so I was going to do it like this instead. I think it works. Now, if you want a little peak up above it, you can even make it lower. But I think I'm going to do it at the top. You can do whatever you want, but I just thought that that worked well. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on this. And add this to the top. I'm not going to have it peak at the top. And then I'm going to put the number 5 on there. And like I said, I'm just doing it because of the party. You know, not party, but birthday. So the number 5 can be on there. Okay, so now we have our 2 items set up for the card. And then I had one more thing I wanted to do. And I am using, I'll find it here a second. Oh, for the number 5, I did use this. This is a fabulous alphabet set. It's just perfect size. I really, really like it. at any rate, this is 666338, and it is Santa's, or Santa greetings. Santa greetings. And then for the top, if you look at the packaging for the card, they have suitcases. You can even put, I've seen people, not this tree, but I've seen them put a tree on the top because it was Christmas when it came out. But I think it was Christmas. I'm going to use this set. I'm going to use the number 5. It actually is quite large, but I thought it was kind of cool. And this is 665367 countdown. And this is the number 5 I'm going to use on, on top of the card. Isn't that cool? It's just going to sit up there on top of the card. And so what I did is I cut that out of 2 different blues so I could have a highlight. And I'll go ahead and do that. So for the most part, this is the only new part that you haven't seen that I'm doing. And I'll show you what else I planned. So I offset this so that there is a highlight. See? I think that works well. And actually, to be honest with you, once I put the silver on here on the car, I really can't do the clear embossing powder as well. It would also get on the shiny part, and it would mess it up. So it'd be better to do it before you put the shiny part on if you are going to make your paper be glossy. So those are the pieces that we have. Now what I did, which I've already done in another video, is I went ahead and made another Walter. Because Walter is going to go inside of this car, even on the outside of this car. I haven't made up my mind yet, and I will soon. And then I also went ahead and did something I already did from the past video, which are the balloons from this set, 666285. Walter was a special on Simon Says stamp that you could only get in December of 2023. But I made the balloons to go with him also. So these are our things that we're going to use to make a card. I don't know which side I'm going to put that on. But anyway, the balloons go great. He'll probably end up holding them. I haven't decided. But those are all the pieces we're going to use. And we'll go ahead and put the, make that come down a little bit so you can see. Go ahead and put the card together. It's going to be a fairly large card, but I think it's cool. So I'll go ahead and figure out how that's going to go together. And be right back. Okay, so I have everything we've created laid out to how I would like to put on a card. I decided this is going to be a 6x6 card. I have already put some digital paper on a 6x6 black cardstock card. And I have already tried to make this a little bit easier. I have already attached Walter to the card. And I have added the double-sided tape to the back. Now, because the car is going to have a layer of double-sided tape, foam tape, I doubled up Walter's head in the bottom of him so that he would be level with the car. I've also got it on the balloons, but I don't want to unstick those yet till I have this in position. So I'm just still going to lay this out to about how I want it to go. Make sure I have my card straight as best I can. Make sure I've got room for everything. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. And it's going to really pretty much be kind of centered on this, because I have to have room for the balloons and I have to have room for the 5 over here, the sign. Alright, so I did not put any double-sided tape at the bottom. I didn't want it to be raised up because it's going to tuck in underneath the car. In fact, I have a little bit of tape probably sitting right there in the way. There we go. I think that works. We'll leave it there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the number 5 because I know I want that centered, and then I can figure the balloons around that. And again, this is just single double-sided tape, or a single layer. And I'm going to center that above the car like it's sitting on the car. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off of the balloons. I did glue the balloons together so that I knew that they would lay right for me and I could attach them to Wilbur's, I keep calling him Wilbur in my mind, Walter's hand. I did glue that knot. I made a knot and I did glue it similar to what I did on the other card I shared on my YouTube channel. So, and you can really, if you want to make these strings go anyway, you can even put a little dab of glue. So as long as these don't extend beyond the card, it works fine for the envelope. So there you go. I just went with a subtle background because I wanted him to pop. So that is how Walter's going to look and the card. So again, I appreciate you stopping by. I will list again what I told you in the video, what I used in the description below. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks so much.